Darling viewers, gather round for a tale most delicious. Well. If it isn't time to spill the tea on one of fashion's most notorious rebels. Today we're diving into the world of Yves Saint Laurent, a man who turned the fashion world upside down and gave it a good shake for good measure. Picture this. Algeria, 1936. A young boy named Yves-Henri Donat Mathieu Saint Laurent is born into a world that has absolutely no idea what's coming. While other children played with toys, little Yves was sketching evening gowns. One might say he was destined for greatness, or perhaps destined to give his parents quite the headache. Now here's where our story gets positively scandalous. At the tender age of 17, this Algerian boy packed his sketches and his dreams and marched straight to Paris. The audacity. But here's the twist that would make even the most seasoned gossip columnist gasp. Christian Dior himself discovered young Yves. Yes, the Christian Dior took one look at this teenager's work and declared him a genius. Talk about knowing how to make an entrance. When Dior tragically passed away in 1957, guess who stepped into those legendary shoes? Our 21-year-old Yves. 21! Most people that age can barely tie their shoes properly, and here was Saint Laurent running one of the world's most prestigious fashion houses. His first collection was called the Trapeze Line, and it was such a sensation that grown women reportedly wept with joy. The fashion world had found its new prince. But darlings, this is where the plot thickens like yesterday's custard. The pressure, the expectations, the weight of an entire fashion empire on such young shoulders, it nearly broke our hero. After a brief stint in the military that ended rather dramatically with a nervous breakdown, Yves found himself unceremoniously dismissed from Dior. Can you imagine? The very house that made him suddenly decided he wasn't quite right for them anymore. Now, a lesser mortal might have retreated to the countryside to tend roses and nurse wounded pride. But not our Yves. Oh no. In 1961, he did something absolutely revolutionary. He started his own fashion house with his business partner and lifelong companion, Pierre Bergé. The audacity was breathtaking. It was like watching David prepare to face Goliath, except David was wearing perfectly tailored trousers and had impeccable taste. And what did this rebellious young designer do with his newfound freedom? He promptly set about scandalizing every fashionable woman in Paris. He took menswear and whispered sweet nothings to it until it agreed to dance with feminine silhouettes. The result? Pure magic that made women look powerful, sophisticated, and just a touch dangerous. His smoking tuxedo suit for women was perhaps his greatest act of rebellion. In 1966, he dared to suggest that women could wear trousers to evening events. The horror, the scandal, the absolute genius. Some restaurants refused to serve women wearing his designs. But did that stop the fashionable ladies of the world? Absolutely not. They wore those suits with the confidence of queens claiming their rightful thrones. Saint Laurent had this remarkable ability to pluck inspiration from the most unexpected places. African art, Russian folklore, Chinese opera. He collected influences like some people collect stamps, except infinitely more stylish. His collections read like love letters to different cultures, each one more breathtaking than the last. The Mondrian dress of 1965 was another stroke of genius that left the fashion world speechless. He took the geometric paintings of Pierre Mondrian and transformed them into wearable art. It was bold, it was modern, and it made every other designer wish they had thought of it first. The man could make a potato sack look like high fashion, though thankfully he never had to prove this particular theory. But perhaps what made Saint Laurent truly revolutionary was his understanding that fashion should serve women, not the other way around. While other designers were creating confections that required teams of assistants to navigate, Saint Laurent created clothes that made women feel like they could conquer the world before lunch. His safari jackets, his peasant blouses, his revolutionary use of color, everything he touched turned to sartorial gold. He democratized luxury in ways that made the old guard absolutely furious. How dare he make fashion accessible? How dare he suggest that elegance shouldn't require a degree in engineering? The beauty of Saint Laurent's legacy lies not just in his designs, but in the philosophy behind them. He believed that fashion should enhance a woman's natural confidence, not mask it. Every piece he created seemed to whisper, "Darling, you're magnificent just as you are, but let's make sure everyone else knows it too." Today, decades after his passing in 2008, Saint Laurent's influence continues to ripple through the fashion world like the most elegant of tsunamis. Modern designers still reference his work, still borrow his techniques, still try to capture that particular magic he wielded so effortlessly. Walk into any high-end boutique today and you'll see his fingerprints everywhere. The sharp shoulders, the fluid lines, the way masculine and feminine elements dance together in perfect harmony. It's all very much Saint Laurent's world, and we're just living in it. The brand continues to thrive under new creative direction, proving that true genius creates foundations strong enough to support entire empires. Every time a woman slips into a blazer and feels instantly more powerful, every time someone chooses comfort without sacrificing style, every time fashion dares to challenge convention, that's Saint Laurent's legacy at work. So here's to Yves Saint Laurent, the boy from Algeria who dared to dream in couture and ended up changing the very fabric of fashion itself. In a world that often rewards conformity, he chose revolution. In an industry that could be suffocatingly serious, he brought wit and whimsy. He proved that true style isn't about following rules, it's about writing your own. And that, my dear viewers, is how one man's vision became fashion's most enduring love story. Until next time, remember, confidence is the best accessory you can wear, though a perfectly tailored Saint Laurent blazer certainly doesn't hurt. The secrets of fashion empires are always the most delicious, aren't they?